What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody is doing well, and yeah, smash that subscribe button. We're trying hard to run up into that 800 subscriber target. And yeah, man, let's get straight into it. So we're going to be starting with the dollar, and we're going to start with the weekly because price action is moving a bit crazy right now. So what I want to bring our attention to first is the fact that we have just traded into the mean threshold of this bearish order block on the weekly. So let's just get this delineated like so. And you'll see that we traded right up to that 50% level, which is mean threshold, quite beautifully too. And then you see we've just reacted off of that. We do still have 2 days left of the week. Obviously, we got Thursday and we got Friday price action to get through. So our overall target is up here, but as I was saying earlier this week, I'm not necessarily anticipating price to reach that this week. It can always do it. It can always do that in the new week. But tomorrow we do have some high impact news releases. We do have building permits and jobless claims, and then following that we have retail. We have the Michigan consumer sentiment as well. So I'm expecting a lot of volatility on the indices and things. Forex, again, it does seem like Forex is being held in some kind of consolidation right now. It's not really that loose, so to speak. So, let's talk about where I'm looking for price trade. So now that we traded to the midpoint of this bearish order block, I have got my eyes set on this weekly fair value gap, which is now an inversion fair value gap. Because we traded through it on the upside, I am looking to see, does this now provide support? So what I am going to do is I'm going to delineate the midpoint of this as well, which is what we call consequent encroachment. And then we can drop down to the daily and see how that translates. So obviously here's the day. We traded right up. Let me get that midpoint marked out for us really quick. There we go. So now that we have that midpoint, we can drop down to the daily and you'll see how we traded up into that and then we've reacted off of that. So obviously in the new day, I'm expecting a continuation to the downside. Like I said, I am looking to see this weekly fair value gap provide support. So I'm happy for price to come down into this, but I would like to see it turn around with inside of it. More specifically, I want to see this volume imbalance get respected, and that's because we traded through it on the upside. You'll see how the midpoints of both line up perfectly with one another, which is also adding to confluence. But overall, I want if price is going to dip down into this range, which I think it likely will, I do want to see support shown. Let's drop down to the 4 hour. You can see that we've had quite a beautiful reaction at that level. Look at that, respecting it beautifully. So like I said, I am expecting some kind of retracement back down into this range, which will be quite interesting. But yeah, like I said, price is not that clean right now on Forex, and that's because we're just range bound. Yes, we have our target up here for buy side liquidity. Whether price wants to reach that this week, we'll have to wait and see, and we'll have to see how it reacts off of this level. So if price does come down here and we have a large reaction away from it, then there's every right for us to expect price to want to reach into this buy side liquidity up here. However, it's perfectly possible that price will simply trade into here and we just go into a consolidation for the rest of the week running into Monday. So right now, not very high probability. Not very high probability, but that's pretty much everything I want to say on dollar. Beautiful delivery to the upside. We've now filled in this fair value gap, this imbalance. So now that it's been traded through, like I said, I'm looking to see, okay, when are we going to now leave this range, So that's what I've got that's where my mindset is right now. Pound, I'm going to start on the weekly. Similarly, on the weekly, let me get rid of this real quick. You'll see that we have actually taken out sell stops residing below these two lows. So sell side liquidity has been grabbed on pound, which is nice to see. And we had a large reaction today away from that sell side running up. So now it's a matter of looking, okay, where are we running to? So now that we've reacted, what are we going to be referring back to? Well, the look of this wick is very interesting, but I'm not going to draw out that wick specifically right now. I'm going to drop down to the daily so we can have a look, and you'll find a daily fair value gap right here. Now, in the new day, I am expecting price to trade into this fair value gap. It's likely going to want to rebalance that. And as it's doing that, you'll also recognize that we have a bearish order block on the daily here. These two consecutive up close candles make a bearish order block, so we can draw out the open of that as a high probability selling area. And when I say selling area, I mean a target, so to speak. So once price reaches up into this level, I expect a reaction away from this level because it is a bearish order block ever since Tuesday when this candle closed below it. Breaker market structure was here. I'll show you more specifically. So the breaker market structure was right here as soon as price traded through that level. And so that means when price retraces, if price is going to retrace back into this order block, I'm expecting a nice sell off away from that. Another thing to take into note, we can try and see if this is optimal trade entry, which I believe it is, from this high to this low, since this is our trading range currently. And then you'll see that orange line lines up nicely. Well, this fair value gap lines up just underneath the optimal trade entry, but let's drop down to the lower time frame and see what we can find. So that optimal trade entry, you'll see there's another bearish order block up here, in line with a 4-hour fair value gap, which actually closes up here as well. So this here is more like a consolidation. Price has every right to reach up into that. So although we do have this as the daily target, it may want to potentially reach into these two up close candles as well in order to close the range completely. So that's always on the agenda. So in terms of the new day, we might get a nice retracement lower, maybe take out sell stops residing below here potentially, and then have a run up into this fair value gap. We've got this high here that I'm looking to get taken, and like I said, there's potential for us to reach even higher depending on how overzealous we want to be. But overall, we now have relative equal highs, these highs and these highs, so we can mark this out as buy side liquidity, and we can set these as targets for the new day. So depending on where we are in London and New York, we can use this as a nice target for the day for us to run up into. And like I said, this consolidation right here is where I'd like to see price turn away from. Finally, I'm going to go on to Euro USD. We're going to start on the weekly. Now, Euro's been moving a little bit different to pound. We traded down into the bullish order block, Took out sell stops again, like similar to pound. Sell stops have been grabbed. So where are we looking to trade to now? Well, we can drop to the daily, see what we can find. We have this massive imbalance here. Massive imbalance. Bearish order block on the daily again. So I'm going to mark this level out. This is a potential draw on liquidity for price want to draw up as if it wants to close in the range. But yeah, the fact that we're taking out sell side liquidity, let me make sure that's made clear. We took out sell side liquidity right there. We traded down into this imbalance. We didn't completely finish the daily fair value gap. I did want to see us close it completely, but we didn't. Volume's also, remaining above it. So it's probably going to come back down later, or it's going to continue to consolidate for a while in this range. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Then if we drop down to the 4-hour, we can have a better look, and you'll see we're just pushing higher. And again, price will likely want to tiptoe its way up into the bearish order block that actually caused this entire move in the first place. Another thing we can look at from the high to the low, optimal trade entry. Well, it's not really optimal, is it? Again, it's just above this level. Fair value gap resides there as well. So price may want to trade up into this higher fair value gap. But yeah, in terms of, price action, we do have classic price action here. So remember, this is sell side liquidity, and you can see we've come down in it and we've created lower lows, and only now recently, running towards the end of the day, we've expanded higher, taking out this buy stop. So I have got my eyes set on this level. I'm gonna see if we do manage to take that out. That'll be quite interesting, because that means sell stops are ran, and then I'd expect this to be the breaker: low, high, lower, low. So the last up close candle before the down move, which would be this candle right here. I then have my eyes on that for the new day for it to find support. So in the new day, what am I saying? Well, I'd like to think the low can be made in this candle for us to then look for buys on Euro to run up into highs here and here. Again, fair value gap, and remember, this blue line is a daily bearish order block. So we do have targets. We have got targets for upside delivery on the Euro and pound. Euro being hopefully more stronger. Let's quickly look. Euro being the preferred pair to trade, purely because I'm expecting this range to get filled, and there's more, there's more upside delivery available for euro to deliver on. So that'll be interesting if it can do it. Whether it will is another story and another question in itself. And that's assuming as well that dollar does want to move lower and run back into this range. So if dollar is going to start showing a weakness and running lower, then that means we can start to frame euro for longs. So long as this high gets taken out, as soon as this high gets taken out, I'm looking at this level as a potential buy level. But yeah, that's going to be everything, guys. I hope you found this insightful. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.